Hi, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Ivan.
And together we are the Disney couple.
Epcot, or Epcot Center as it was known back on October 1st, 1982, was probably one of the most ambitious ideas the Walt Disney Company embarked on to focus on the upcoming explosion of the information age, where technology would be constantly evolving to make everyday life simpler and better. Let's take a look back at Epcot as we celebrate 40 years of this iconic theme park and talk about the past, the present, and of course the future of one of Walt Disney's most inspirational projects.
The year is 1964 and somebody is buying up swampland around Orlando, Florida. Walt Disney is secretly buying over 27,000 acres and spending around $5 million on a very big secret project. Fast forward to 1965 and Walt Disney completes his purchase, which ends up being around 43 square miles of property. Later on that year, the mystery is finally over, and Walt Disney is announced as the mystery buyer of all the Florida land. Now, 1 year later in 1966, Walt Disney makes the infamous film to talk about and demonstrate Epcot. The world is abuzz of such a fantastical project. Climate-controlled, outdoor shopping centers and monorails, and people movers as the primary means of transportation. With plenty of room for cars, trucks, and people alike, a city that is constantly evolving and changing, keeping up with the latest in technology, where anything that can be imagined and dreamed up by industry is just the push of a button away. A city that is divided into different sections for industry, residential, and commercial occupants. A city that is living and breathing, where everyone will have a share in keeping this bustling city of the future operating and flourishing as the years tick by. A city that will showcase what the latest technology and thinking can pull off, and perhaps be a blueprint for other cities around the globe. That was the original concept and idea of Epcot. Epcot would also have included a theme park, Disney World, an airport of the future, Epcot City, Epcot Industrial Park, and a welcome center. But then the unthinkable happens. A few short months after the Florida project and the Epcot film are made, Walt Disney passes away. However, out of desperation comes inspiration. Roy Disney postpones his own retirement and, fulfilling his late brother's wishes, campaigns for Epcot to be built as Walt had originally envisioned it. However, it will be years before anything starts to materialize. Now Roy takes the reins and oversees and gets Walt Disney World finished and opened on October 1st, 1971, complete with 2 hotels, a monorail line, several themed lands, and the crown jewel, Cinderella's Castle. Roy then retires, and after a few months later, Roy dies suddenly, and now Epcot and its future are left in limbo.
Now we're in the 70s, and several executives are still trying to figure out what the future of Epcot should be. And finally, it is decided that Epcot Center, as it will now be called, will be a celebration of humankind's discovery and an inspiration to all of its visitors to always dream and dream big. With all the ideas needed to build a second park in Florida, ground is officially broken on October 1st, 1979. And during the next 3 short years, the construction cost to build Epcot was estimated to be between $800 million and $1.4 billion, at the time the largest construction project on Earth. And later, on October 1st, 1982, Epcot Center opens to much fanfare and hype, helping to explore the ongoing information age, and also to highlight our past discovery and the evolution of communication. Just like Magic Kingdom, Epcot has a plaque in the front of the park by none other than Disney executive Card Walker. To all who come to this place of joy, hope, and friendship, welcome. Epcot is inspired by Walt Disney's creative vision. Here, human achievements are celebrated through imagination, wonders of enterprise, and concepts of a future that promises new and exciting benefits for all. May Epcot Center entertain, inform, and inspire, and above all, may it instill a new sense of belief and pride in man's ability to share a world that offers hope to people everywhere. But Epcot is more than a science fair on steroids. Epcot also includes the World Showcase, hosting a collection of countries, cultures, and people as a way to combine both World Showcase and Future World into one massive melting pot of technology, communication, and culture. Epcot officially opens with 6 pavilions. Spaceship Earth, where the dawn of communication is traced all the way up to modern times, narrated by Vic Perrin. Communicore was split into East and West, highlighting technology and our future. Journey into Imagination. The opening day version of this attraction was without a doubt the best version. Here you'll find Dreamfinder and Figment as we learn all about the power of imagination. Also featured a one-of-a-kind 3D film in the Magic Eye Theater, and I remember it being very spectacular back in the day. Fun fact is, you can even borrow a camera for the day from the Kodak booth inside. Now, a few years later, the Magic Eye Theater would host another 3D show, Captain EO, starring Michael Jackson. The Land focuses on human interactions with our ecosystem and how technology can lead to better preserving of the land. Universe of Energy. How the energy we use today was created, and more importantly also explored new ways to harness even more types of energy. World of Motion. Showcases how transportation has evolved through the years up until the present and beyond. Horizons, which opened in 1983, was an amazing ride that showcased visions of what our future might look like. Even had a show finale where you get to pick what your future may be. And The Living Seas showcased a vast ocean life and how our interaction forms a very delicate balance. Was added in 1986 and features a 5.7 million gallon saltwater aquarium, one of the largest in the world. Followed by the Wonders of Life Pavilion. This was dedicated to health and fitness and opened in 1989. And who could forget about the incredible Body Wars, Cranium Command, and Fitness Fairgrounds? Now, World Showcase consists of 11 pavilions. Canada, the United Kingdom, France, Morocco, Japan, the United States, Italy, Germany, China, Norway, and Mexico, out of which only Morocco and Norway were not present on opening day, and were added in 1984 and 1988 respectively. The World Showcase pavilions were something very special in that those pavilions had representatives of that prospective country staffed. Also, certain pavilions had live shows and attractions. For example, Mexico, El Rio de Tiempo, or Sail the River of Time, where you board a boat and sail through the rich history of Mexico, while lunch and dinner patrons watch you from above. Norway, featuring Maelstrom, where you take a boat ride and experience a rich history of Norway from a 3-headed troll all the way to an exciting North Sea storm. China, the Wonders of China presented by the ghost of Li Bo, who takes you on a fantastic journey using a new technique at the time called Circle Vision 360, where you stand as the film is shown from different perspectives all around you. Shot in the summer of 1981 using a 300-pound 9-camera rig. Germany. Of course, in Germany there is none other than the beer garden, where you have Oktoberfest entertainment. Italy. World-famous fettuccine Alfredo. Now we're in the center of the World Showcase at the American Adventure, where Ben Franklin and Mark Twain take you on an adventure of how America came to be with all its twists and turns, through movie and, of course, audio animatronics. Japan would feature traditional and contemporary Japanese art throughout the years. Morocco. When this pavilion was announced, the King of Morocco sent his artist over to make sure everything was as authentic as possible to portray his country's culture. However, that agreement has since ended. This pavilion, like Japan over the years, has also shown collections and exhibits. France. Impressions de France, one of my favorites. A movie celebrating the French countryside and culture. United Kingdom. The one and only Rose and Crown Pub has been open since opening day. And finally, Canada. Oh, Canada. Another Circle Vision 360 film portraying Canada's huge provinces and their amazing outdoor activities and culture. All these pavilions also featured clothing, souvenirs, and food that represented the respective country. How about that schoolbread over in Norway? Now for the nighttime shows, the very first one was Le Carnival des Lumières, was the first nighttime show with lights, fountains, music, and other effects, being broadcast on projection barges, and interesting enough, the fountains and fireworks were controlled by Apple computers back in 1982. This nighttime show would change in 1983, called A New World Fantasy, followed by Laserphonic Fantasy in 1984. Now, World Key Information satellites, which were kiosks, were scattered all about Future World and World Showcase, where you could touch the screen and learn all kinds of information. You could even talk to a video operator, again, all in 1982. And 1986 would see Spaceship Earth reopen for its first refurbishment. New narration by Walter Cronkite, and the finale was changed to Tomorrow's Child. Well, folks, that's the end of part 1. Come back next week for the exciting conclusion of the history of Epcot.
Thanks for watching today's episode.
And remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications.
Have a magical day.